Hello, let's start our third semester MSc Mathematics classes, and I am offering you the paper Functional Analysis, and this is our first session. In this session we will be quickly going through linear spaces and related topics which you have already studied in your linear algebra paper. Now, what is meant by a linear space? A linear space X over a field F, usually we will take the field of real numbers or complex numbers. So over a field F is a set on which we have two operations. The first operation is known as vector addition, which is a mapping from X cross X to X itself. That means for every pair X and Y in capital X, we have a vector X plus Y. We have an element X plus Y in capital X. And the second operation is scalar multiplication. That is defined from F cross X to X. So if you take a K from the field and X from the capital X, then corresponding to them we have another element Kx in capital X. Usually we will call elements of capital X as vectors and elements of F as scalars. And these operations should satisfy the following properties. The first property is that the set X together with addition should be an abelian group. And the scalar multiplication should be associative. That means here A and B are scalars and X is a vector. A times Bx is equal to product of AB times X. And there should be the distributive law should be satisfied. Means if we multiply the sum of two vectors X plus Y with a scalar A, so A times X plus Y should be AX plus BY, and A plus B times X should be AX plus BX. And it should satisfy 1 times X is equal to X for all X in capital X and for all A and B element of F. Now, you have come across with several examples of linear spaces, and these are some examples. I am denoting the space of all sequences in F as S, the space of all bounded sequences in F as L infinity, the space of all convergent sequences as C, the space of all convergent sequences with limit 0 as C naught, the space of all sequences that are eventually 0, means after a particular stage every element is 0, every element of the sequence is 0. We will denote it by S star. Now CAB means set of all functions from AB to R such that F is continuous. These are all examples for linear spaces over R or C. Now, you know what is meant by linear independence. Suppose S is a subset of our linear space X. We say that S is linearly independent if summation over I equal to 1 to n ai xi equal to 0 implies ai equal to 0 for I equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. up to n. That means if we take this summation I equal to 1 to n ai xi is known as linear combination. So if you take any finite collection of vectors from S, take their arbitrary linear combination. If it is equal to 0, then every scalar present here should be equal to 0. This is meant by linear independence, or in other way we cannot write a vector of S as a linear combination of other vectors in S. Now, span of a set S is the set of all linear combinations of vectors of S, finite collection of vectors of S. So, span of S is equal to set of all summation I equal to 1 to n ai xi, where ai element of f and xi's are in S for I equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. up to n. Here n can also vary. N is some natural number. If S spans the full space X, then we say that S is spanning X. S is a spanning subset of X. Now, how can we define basis of a linear space? We can define basis as either maximal linearly independent subset of X. That means it is a subset of X, it is linearly independent. If you add one more vector to that set, it will lose linear independence. So it is a maximal linearly independent subset of X. It may not be unique. And you can also define basis as minimal spanning set of X. It is a minimal spanning set of X, means a basis should span X. But if you remove one vector from that set, it cannot span the entire X. So it is the minimal spanning set of X. And the number of elements in the basis is unique. So if you take any maximal linearly independent subset of X, all of them will have the same cardinality. If you take all the minimal spanning subsets of X, all of them will have the same cardinality. So this cardinality of basis is known as dimension of that linear space. Now what is meant by subspace of a linear space? It is a subset of that linear space, and that itself should be a linear space with the same operations of vector addition and scalar multiplication, and the zero vector of X should be in Y. So a non-empty subset Y of a vector space X that is closed under addition and scalar multiplication is called linear subspace of X, or simply a subspace of X. That means if y1 and y2 is in capital Y and a is a scalar, y1 plus ay2 should be in capital Y for every y1 and y2 in Y and for every element of F. Now we are defining a coset. Suppose Y is a linear subspace of X. So we are defining coset like this. For X element of capital X, we define box X, or I will call this class X. Class X is equal to X plus capital Y. Now what is meant by X plus capital Y? It is set of all X plus Y where Y varies over capital Y. You add X with every element of capital Y. And it's easy to prove that two cosets are either the same or they are disjoint. Okay, so if class of X and class of Y are equal, then we can say that X minus Y is an element of Y. Then only class of X and class of Y will be equal. Actually, this is a two-way implication. Class X equal to class Y implies and implied by X minus Y is in capital Y. This is how we define coset. Now, quotient space, we denote it by X over Y. Here X is a linear space, Y is a linear subspace of X, and X over Y is the collection of all class X where X element of capital X. X varies over capital X. And in this set, we will define two operations, addition and scalar multiplication, as follows. Class of X plus class of Y is equal to class of X plus Y. That is our vector addition here. Suppose C is a scalar, then C times class X is equal to class of Cx. Under these vector addition and scalar multiplication, X over Y is again a linear space over F. And since this X over Y is a linear space, it will have a dimension. That dimension is known as codimension of Y. Now, you know what is meant by a linear map. Suppose we have two linear spaces over the same field F. This is must. Both of them should be over the same field F. A linear map is a function A from one linear space to the other, from x to y, which preserves addition and scalar multiplication. Means A of x1 plus x2 is equal to A of x1 plus A of x2. A of Cx is equal to C times A of x for all x1 and x2 in capital X and for all C element of F. Suppose this A is a bijection, then we say that it is a linear space isomorphism. This is a structure preserving map here. Between two linear spaces, a linear map is a structure preserving map. If it is a bijection, then we say that it is an isomorphism between x and y. I am stopping this session here, and in the next session we will discuss the quotient space in detail. So all of you go through your linear algebra notes and get ready with vector spaces and its properties. Thank you.